Hi, I'm Vic. I'm a chef here at Mediamatic. Today I'm going to cook a knotweed recipe. It's going to be knotweed and pear tartelette. For that we need to get knotweed, so come with me, we'll go and pick some outside. We're looking for younger shoots. All you need is a sharp knife or a sharp pair of scissors and a plastic bag. Because it's a weed, it's very invasive. You want to make sure that you're not dropping any parts of it on the floor. You want to check where it's getting a bit too hard and cut above that. Nice clean cut, and then just put it in your bag. Something to watch out for is that there are some areas with contaminated soil. Make sure that you don't harvest in those zones. A lot of cities have maps showing that. We will link one for the city of Amsterdam. All right, we've harvested lots of knotweed. Let's go back to the kitchen and get to cooking. All right, we got a knotweed, nice big full bag. So we're gonna be removing first the leaves. You can just pinch them out. So we're just getting rid of all the hardy, woody bits, the leaves and the tips. Yeah, so we're gonna use about 100 grams of knotweed for this recipe, and we're gonna use about 200 grams of pear. And we're gonna add a little bit of sugar too, because knotweed is quite acidic in taste. Japanese knotweed originally comes from East Asia. It was introduced to Europe and the US in the mid-1800s by a German scientist who thought it was very pretty. Unfortunately, he didn't realize how robust and how fast-growing it is. And so it quickly started populating and taking over native species all around Europe and the US. Now we're gonna cut our pears. You want about 200 grams. If you have a ratio of 2:1 between your knotweed and your pear, you'll be about good in terms of the flavor you're trying to achieve. So let's cut our pear into little pieces. The smaller, the faster it'll reduce. All right, we've got our pear and our knotweed in, our 30 grams of sugar. Mix it in. Let's start with a medium-high heat just to kind of get it going, and then gradually, as you see it cooking down and reducing, just lower the heat. Get a little bit of water. So this is going to turn into a little jam. All right, so we're going to make our dough. So we have 100 grams of flour here, 50 grams of sugar. Then we're going to add our butter, 50 grams as well. It's vegan butter, by the way. And finally, we're going to add a little pinch of salt to it. Blend that, use your pulse setting. For this quantity, I would add about a teaspoon of water. If you make it too wet, then it'll get too sticky. But what you want is a nice kind of like flaky mixture. Check up on your jam from time to time, make sure everything is cooking down slowly. While that's happening, we're gonna form our dough. Knead it into a nice dough. You don't have to press it much. It has to be quite dry. This will be fine, this will work just great. So then we'll powder our working surface with some flour and then just roll it flat. You can make it quite thin and it gets very crispy as well. That's the point, so don't be afraid if it kind of cracks. One mold, I'm using just a normal bowl, a bit bigger than the mold you're gonna use. Make sure you butter your molds well, that it doesn't stick. Push it in gently, and then you can easily just push on the edges and that'll get rid of the excess. Like this, look how pretty. We can make a second one. So yeah, this recipe, you should be able to make a good, I think 4 to 6 of them, definitely 4. All right, our jam is ready. It's ready to be put in our little molds. Put it quite evenly, just under the top, that you have a little ridge just over it. And so the knotweed gives it, because the pear doesn't really have so much color, right? The knotweed is really giving it that greenish color, which is, you don't see it in, like often in baking, right? Green. So knotweed kind of has an acidic taste. People often say that it's also kind of like lemon. Again, that acidity is something that comes out a lot. And so we smooth that out with the pear and the sugar a lot. So if you've ever had rhubarb pie, this is actually very similar. We're gonna make it look pretty by using little slices of pear that we're gonna layer on top of it. So we're gonna quarter our pear again. Get rid of the heart, which is not so tasty. And then we're just gonna slice it very thin in little slices like this. Place it on top of our pie. And so you take from the larger pieces to the smaller. It doesn't have to be super precise. And for the last piece, if you cut it kind of like towards the inside, just so it fits a little bit better. Like this. And then you have this very pretty little kind of topping on top of it. And we have our pies. Now they're ready to go in the oven. We're gonna put them at 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 to 25 minutes. Let's get them in our oven. It's preheated at 180 Celsius. It's been about 25 minutes. Now it's time to get them out of the oven. Okay, they've cooled down. Let's plate them. Alright, let's give it a taste. That's really tasty. It feels really traditional, but then you get that knotweed taste in it. Nice and sweet, and the pear complements it really well. Yep, it's a really good pie. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Try it at home, and please try our other recipes with knotweed on the channel. Check them out. Thank you.